Cole from Southridge Outdoors. So what we're going to do in this video, this is going to be a separate video that kind of goes along with the heavy arrow build video. However, this one we're going to build an arrow spin tester slash a thing that you can square the ends of your arrows off for when you do your knock tuning and your insert tuning. So we got the materials. We got a 1x6 here. We got a 2x4. This will be our base. So we're going to cut this to length. We're going to cut the 2x4. We're going to fasten that to here. We have our cabinet roller catches, which is what we're going to use for our spinners for the arrows. Once the 2x4 is on there, we're going to screw these fast, and then that will be what you spin your arrow in. And then on the end, we're going to put an upright post that you can put your broadhead in and spin it, make sure it's straight, and you could put a piece of sandpaper on there for squaring off the two different ends of your arrow. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, this is going to be the base for the spin tester. So I measured out 36 inches because that's just what I want the base to be. So this is going to be 36, this is going to be 20, and then I'll center that on here, and then we will go from there. So I'm going to measure this one 20 inches. Because you figure at the longest arrow, you're most likely going to want to spin test or knock tune or whatever to square off your ends would be most likely 31, 32 inches. So if you have 20 inches between your rollers, you're only going to have at most 6 inches hanging off the end of your rollers, which is fine. That's an acceptable amount. So square up our line. Okay, now I'm going to cut these down to size, and then we'll get into the actual building. Okay, so we got the boards cut. So what I did was measured each side, made sure it was centered on the center of this board, and measured the ends. Got it centered, drew a mark around it so I know where it's at. Now I'm going to screw this fast to this board. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, these are going to be our rollers for our arrows. So I'm going to take one of these and get it mounted on the end here so that it's up above this board. So I'll probably do something about like that. We're going to put one of these on either side. But what you're going to want to do is when you put this on and then you put your other one on, you're going to need somebody else with you and set your level across it, because you're going to want to make sure that these are level so your arrow spins true. So we'll go ahead, we'll get these screwed on and leveled up, and then we'll go on to Alright guys, so we got our cabinet latch rollers installed, so now you can see how this thing works. So you got them on there, you take your arrow, set them in the rollers, and give it a spin. And then you just look for your wobbles. So that's that. I mean, this thing is really rudimentary. But it works for what it's designed for. It's level, it's true. You can see that your arrows don't have any wobble. So now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put an upright board here so that we can make a hole for our broadheads, and so we can put a piece of sandpaper on there so that when you knock tune your arrows and paper tune them, you can put a piece of sandpaper on here, push this up against, and sand it off, and that way you'll know it's your edges are straight. So we'll be right back after we get this board put on. Okay, so now we have our upright with our sandpaper. What you want to do is take a marker, mark the end, Okay, fill that in, make it black and shiny, so that way you know. If you sand it and there's still a little black, that way you know you need to take a little bit more off. So that's a little tip from the ranch fairy also. So you want to put this in here, slide it against the sandpaper, make sure that stays in there. We're going to slide this guy back and forth, just like this. Alright, use a little bit more. You just need a very little bit of forward pressure. And we're good. That baby should be square and ready to glue it in and insert. So that was just a really quick down and dirty. I mean, I got maybe $4 into this entire thing. So, you know, don't always think when you guys do some of this stuff that you have to go to the store and buy these expensive tools. I mean, you can make some of this stuff with a little creativity. I can't take full credit for this. I saw this on YouTube. DIY Sportsman built one of these. Now this portion of it was kind of my idea. I don't know, maybe somebody somewhere else out there did it, but anyway, so that's that. You can do the same exact thing you did on the front with the back when you do your knock tuning. Pull your knock out, put it in there, spin it, and that's it, guys. So we're going to continue on with our heavy arrow build here later on today, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.